our weather forecast today?
Today's forecast, a lot of sunshine, blue skies, marine clouds. Just the perfect day to go outside and relax. That's your forecast. We'll be right back.
Yeah, sunny days, sunny days, sunny days. No clouds in the sky, but again, away feels like it's been a freaking decade.
Everybody, welcome to another episode of The Social Beaches. Is that what we're calling ourselves now? The Social Beaches. Yeah. I'm Carolyn Smith.
And I'm Kelly Bowling.
We're with the Coastal Estate Team. We sell real estate in Brevard County, Florida, which is the Space Coast, and also Indian River County, and we would love to help you. So if you're looking for amazing realtors, give us a call. We are going to talk today about moving. Actually, today we're typically completely unorganized for our podcast.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. We say we're going to prepare, and then
we don't.
Yeah, the morning of 5 minutes before we have to leave, we're like,
What are we talking about?
What are we talking about today? Yeah, and so we're doing that today. We have some topics, but we're going to talk about moving. And moving's obviously a big thing when you are selling a home or buying a home, and everyone hates moving. But I do say that everyone should be forced to move like every 2 years because it prevents hoarding.
Oh, it really does.
Yes.
You will, if you're doing it right, you're decluttering as you're packing things. You're
Yes.
like, do I need this? Have I used it? If the answer is no, then
Yes.
you donate it or you trash it or whatever, find a new home for it. And then you can just put the things you're actually using. Now, sounds great in theory.
Yes.
But
a lot of people
yeah.
just throw all the stuff in a box.
Yeah.
Just throw everything in the box because I don't have time to go through it. I can't even think about it because decluttering itself is a time-consuming endeavor.
It is. It really is.
So people just throw everything in the box and they get to the new place and they have all this stuff and they're like,
what do I want to do with it?
Yeah, what
so
do I
guess
do?
what? It stays in a box in the garage for like the next 3 years. Until you
and then
move
when
again.
you move again, you're like, what's this box? Just
Yeah.
stuff I haven't touched.
I'm pretty sure
in
I have a
years.
few of those. Yeah.
So and one of the reasons we're talking about moving is I was on Facebook and, or what do they call it? Bookface.
Yeah.
I was on Facebook and I got an ad and it was this company that delivers these plastic bins with lids. They deliver them to you.
Right.
And you pack everything in these plastic bins. And then when you move, you call them and then they come and pick these bins up. And I thought, that is genius.
You don't need to deal with the cardboard and like the flat box that you then have to get the tape and you have to tape the box and then your hands get all dry and you're putting stuff in. So you have these nice plastic bins that are like, they're manageable size, you know?
Well, and I think they have a way to pick them up,
Yeah,
right?
they have
To
like
hold
little
them?
handles on the side.
Yeah.
And then they just flap closed on the top, which is really cool. And then, you know, you can't overpack them. Well, books might be heavy, but like you can't really overpack them because they're the size that they are. The other downside to that is like not everything fits in those, but it's good for a lot of things, like your little knickknacks and household things.
You might still need a big box for like pillows or comforters or
and
whatever.
like your clothes, like a wardrobe box or something.
Yeah.
But yeah, so my daughter used these a couple times because she's just one person, so she doesn't have a lot of stuff. But it's also a task to like have to move, you know, all of your things and furniture, and I don't want to do it. So we always hire movers, but she'll get these boxes, and she's done it two ways. The first time she had them delivered to her because that was easy and not overly expensive. And then, you know, she packed the things, and then the movers toted them over for her, and then the company came and picked them up from her new place. Yeah. And then last year she decided she wanted to spend the money for the delivery.
Oh my gosh.
Cheap. When it's
good.
her money, she goes really cheap.
Yeah.
So she went and picked the boxes up. So I think U-Haul is a place that does this. In the bigger cities, they'll do this.
I have never seen. Have you ever? Well, I guess you saw them when she did them.
Well,
but I've never seen anyone do.
I feel like they don't have it maybe in our area yet. So like if you want to do it here, you have to, like for U-Haul, you have to go to Winter Park, I think, to pick them up from U-Haul. And the Stack ones you saw, those are only in Orlando, South Florida. But it says that in 2023, they're hitting nationwide. So
I think it's a brilliant
genius idea.
Yeah,
and they
really
sanitize the containers in between uses. Well, at least Stack does. I don't know about U-Haul, but that way, you know,
that's
you're
something
getting
I didn't
fresh.
even think about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, you definitely want them to be clean for sure.
I didn't even think about this.
Yeah.
So, and the other cool thing I found was because my daughter is moving away to college. And so on one of the college, like prep for moving, kind of, here's what you need to take. So IKEA has them and Amazon has them, but they look like big, gigantic duffel bags, but they're like $1.50 each. They're made out of some sort of recycled plastic, and then they have handles.
Oh.
And they're huge.
Is it like the bags you got us for our Costco trips? Is it similar to that or bigger?
They're more duffly. They're like
okay.
no, they're bigger.
Oh,
they're
okay.
longer and they're like literally like a duffel, and they have a zipper.
Oh.
Yeah, and so I ended up getting mine from Amazon because someone's like, you can get them from Amazon or IKEA.
Yeah.
And I forget what they're called, but they're like, you can put so much stuff in there, and then you can pick it up by the handle, or if you have like a dolly, you just throw them all on the dolly.
Oh, that's nice.
Now, I don't know that you would want to put dishes in there, but for
No,
like,
but like
softer
soft
things
like your sheets and towels
Yeah.
and pillows and
Oh,
all of
yeah.
that. Yeah, that'd be awesome.
And they said they're great for college kids for moving in and out. Yeah, so I got a whole bunch of them, and I'm like, well, you can throw in all kinds of stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and they are easier to deal with than a box because they have the handles.
Yeah.
They have the like fabric handles.
Right.
So anyway,
yeah.
that's
The other thing
another
about
cool
the
thing.
boxes is that after you move, what are you going to do with them?
Yeah.
You always see people on Facebook, free moving
Yeah.
boxes.
Free moving boxes.
Or you can always see them like out at the curb at somebody's house.
Yeah.
It just
and then
is
you kind of
moved.
feel bad, like
Was so much. And you
Wasteful.
can recycle them, sure.
Yeah.
And that's awesome. But it's just, I like the reusable bin idea. It's a
yeah,
great,
I think
plan.
it's a good idea. And moving in itself is just, it's not a fun thing.
There's lots of ways you can do it, though. I remember when I was young, it was like literally pickup trucks, friends,
Yes.
family.
Yes,
everybody
I'm
to
way
help
too
you.
old for that now. I
Oh.
have to move my daughter into college, and I'm like, wait, who's doing this? But you have to do it. Well, you could sneak people in. It's not like they're checking, are you really her parents? Are you
Right.
really like related? Are you
Yeah.
able? But I mean, I feel at least we have elevators in her dorm, but some of the dorms, they're like 3 stories,
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
no elevator. And it's August in
Hot.
Florida.
Very hot.
And you're having to move your kid
Oh, yes.
into a dorm. I don't know. I feel like this is torture. This is not going
It's
to
not
be fun.
fun. And they have helpers and stuff there, but she's moving in early, so I don't know if she'll
There's
have
no
that.
helpers. There's no helpers early.
You are your helpers.
I'm my own
At least
helper.
we had that. When I moved Carissa into her dorm a few years ago, it was very exciting. She had a brand new dorm. It was just me and her. And they did have the helpers. They came to the car. They threw everything in these like rollaway bins. They look
Yes,
like the
that's
big
what they
laundry
say
bins
they
they have
do,
at hotels
yeah.
or whatever. And they wheeled it in. They took it up the elevators for us. And we got all situated in a room. And I'm unpacking. And I'm sitting on the floor because, it's close to like the dresser
Yeah.
and the beds and everything. And I'm like, why does my bottom feel wet? What is going on?
Oh, my
There was a bottle
gosh.
of water there. And I thought, oh, it's condensated. It's sweat. It's
Yeah,
so
yeah.
hot, like somehow maybe that got on the
Yeah.
floor. No, there was water seeping through the brand new floors. They were vinyl plank floors, and they were having an issue with that particular set of rooms that this was happening. So
Oh, my
after we basically
gosh.
had unpacked everything and put it all away,
She had to move.
we had to move rooms, and it was up a floor. And we're like, let's
gosh.
just do the stairs. So we were just like going up the back stairs. So I was helping her. The other girl's mom and dad were there, and they were helping, to get everything moved up. And it was supposed to be temporary, but then they asked them, do you guys want the other room back? Because that was the one they originally selected.
Yeah.
And they were like, no, we're good. We'll just stay here. It's
Yeah.
fine.
It's like when you're in
So-
a hotel room and it's not quite perfect, and so they put you in another one temporarily.
Yeah.
And then they're like, do you want to move back to
No, I'm already here.
I'm already here. I've unpacked.
Right.
Yeah. So it's not worth it.
Yeah, that's how I feel about like where I currently live. Like I've already done this once. I don't want to do it again.
Yeah. Well, and they said so for the dorm. I don't know. Well, yours was brand new, so it's different. So they said like even though they bring in cleaners to clean the dorms, they're like you should anticipate like go get your key.
Oh, yeah.
Get in there, and then like you're going to be doing a deep clean.
Yeah.
And I'm like, can we hire someone? No, you're not allowed to.
Really?
You're not allowed to bring in outside cleaners. Yeah, and I'm like, how would they know? This is, Summer's long lost Aunt Sally.
Right?
she's come to help.
Yeah.
And meanwhile,
I feel like they'd have to arrive with you for sure. Be like, hey,
Yes.
just meet me outside. Don't bring your special car uniform. Okay?
Yes.
Wear whatever you want, but not that.
Yes. And just come clean. They said like pull the oven out, pull the refrigerator out, like it's
Yeah.
gross underneath
Oh, for
and
sure.
behind, and no one's cleaned that
Nobody
in
cleans
forever.
under those
And they're
things.
like the showers are gross, and bring a steam cleaner to clean
Yeah.
because these dorms have carpet. That's gross. That's gross. They're like all the kids need like slide shoes because they can't walk around.
They're going to get like
yeah.
athlete's foot from walking
fungus.
around on the floors. I mean, they're in college. They're going to, experience all sorts of things. It builds character. It's good for them.
It's better for them than for me. I'm not taking my shoes off in there.
I feel like as we get, older and wiser, we learn smarter ways to do things.
Yes.
Like, like not cleaning the house that you're vacating because you're going to pay somebody to do that.
Pay someone to do that.
So that, you don't have to deal with it. Because once you have all your stuff packed up and moved out, who wants to do that? I know I don't.
And don't move out like the day that you're closing. Like move
that's
out.
too stressful.
Yeah, move out.
At least the day before.
Yeah.
At least the day before. Maybe a couple days. If you have the leisure and ability and the means to stay in a hotel for a couple days, do it. It's like a little mini vacation. You can order room service. Do it on the beach. That's what I do. I always get the oceanfront room. Yeah. Because I'm like, why not? Why not? If you're forced into this situation because you got to get your house empty before you move into your new house and you're going to be working, it's a little mini reward.
Yes.
Right in the middle. You've already packed up all your stuff. You're getting ready to have to unpack all your stuff. Have a little vacation.
The benefit of living by the beach.
Yes.
We can just rent a little.
Just do that. Even if you're not moving to the beach, who cares? Just go stay there for a couple nights and reward yourself. Yeah. So it's a good
I'm going to do that
plan.
Next time I move. I haven't moved in forever. I used to move like every year. I moved every year for so many years. I didn't know what to do when I stopped moving. But my kids, once I had kids, and my son has autism and they don't like change.
Yes.
And I like change. Mm-hmm. So I've struggled. So I just keep changing things in the house. And he's like, why did you do that? Why did you change the paint color? What was wrong with the old paint color? What was wrong with the old couch? What was wrong with this? I like change.
Yes.
I want to change everything.
Yeah.
And he wants everything to remain the same
this
always.
Is true. I have some clients that are moving here, and it was very difficult for their son. He's, I think the same age as Jagger, maybe a little older. He's also got autism. Yeah. And she was talking about the room that's going to be his and like what paint color. She goes, we're just going to keep the same paint color that his room here is. And so I'm going to send you a swatch of that so that the painter can get that going. And I'm like, oh, that's genius. She's like, it's already difficult enough for them to make this huge change. Like, it's a whole nother state. It's a whole new house, whole new school program he's going to be going to. Like, everything is changing. So that's got to be really difficult.
Yeah. Maybe they'll paint and keeping the same furniture would probably be good.
Well, it's funny because they're painting like the downstairs and like all the main, hallway areas and stuff, a specific color that she already had at her house.
Oh, see?
Yeah. So she had painted a swatch and was like, here, use that. So,
yeah. They don't like change. But for those of us that do and like to move, I like to move. I don't like to move so much anymore because I'm old and it's like packing and all that stuff. Yeah. I'm not old. But I'm
my last move, I started packing and it was just me and the two little kids because my husband was working overseas. Mm-hmm. And I just kind of ran out of time. And we had movers that were going to come move like the furniture and take the boxes and put them in. And my husband's like, Kelly, just call them and say, do you also pack? And I'm like, oh, well, I guess I could do that. So I called and they did. They sent two people over.
They're like, have you seen those people pack?
I was like, how are you? There was only two people and they packed so much because I really hadn't made much progress, if I'm being honest. With two like very young children, it was impossible because you'd pack a box and they're pulling stuff out of it to play with it. But they came and packed my entire house in like a day and a half. And then the next day they came and loaded it. I'm like, that was so much easier. And they did a good job. So you hear nightmare stories where I've seen some on TikTok where they're like, I was looking for such and such. And so I opened this box and there'll be like a pillow in there and there's like a random kitchen knife like out of a block. Like, how did that get in here? And it's
check your Google reviews before you hire the mover.
Definitely. Yeah. We've been really, really lucky with our moves. We've had good guys that come and move. And even my daughter, like, I didn't really review too much. She doesn't have a lot of stuff and nothing that's of any major value. Really. But we used over there, I'm like, well, she's in college. Let's call college hunks. Yes. Why not? Give her a show while she's, and so I called her. I'm like, are they actually hunks?
They are actually college hunks.
She was like, eh.
Oh, really?
I'm like, so disappointing.
One of my clients called me because they hired the college hunks. Oh, yeah. She's like, come over, Carolyn. Come over and see the hunks. And they were.
That's so funny.
They were.
Maybe it depends on which crew you get.
They were the college hunks, and then they hired them again. They had to move out of, that time they were moving from a house, and then another time, same client, they had to move, and they had to move from a 6th-floor condo, and the elevator was out. It was one of the condos where there was one elevator, and they had to order a part, and it was like months and months. They had to move out, so they had guys all lined up and down the stairwell.
Just passing stuff?
Yes.
That was smart.
And they had to cut... That was the bed. Oh, that they had to cut the
post off of it.
The post off of it.
Yeah, I remember that. And then they kept that bed.
They meant something to that. It's
yeah,
terrible.
it is awful.
The only other option was like throw it off the balcony.
I remember the discussion about that. Like, are we going to get a crane and move this thing off the balcony? That's a nightmare.
Terrible.
Man, plan ahead. I mean, and there's only so much you can do. That is out of your control if the elevator is busted.
They kept waiting and waiting, thinking the part might come in, and the people were like, no, we're closing and we need to move in, and they had to get out.
Oh, my gosh.
And they had like big antique kind of furniture and that they had collected over the years.
Right.
And
oh my gosh, that's just awful.
Yeah, I think there was like a big dresser or something they just couldn't get down. They ended up like it couldn't be disassembled. It was, but like basically just taking it down in pieces and throwing it away. Yeah,
That's terrible.
I know.
Yeah,
I know.
That's and then when it's furniture that means a lot to you, that's hard.
Yeah. I don't care about furniture that much.
Well, now you can do like. I mean, you can have the mover crew or you can do a pod. So many people are doing those. But I feel like you have to double check if you're getting a pod. Do you live in an HOA? Do they have really strict rules? How long can it be there? Yeah. I feel like there's got to be some grace period.
Usually they give you like 3 days, I feel like. 3 days with the pod.
That's
Most of them allow you 3 days. And then, I mean, honestly, you can hire some movers.
Yes, to help you with it.
To help you.
Yeah, rather than doing it all yourself.
Yeah,
because they're not cheap. Those pods are not that cheap either. Everything's so expensive.
Yeah, I think it's just kind of nice sometimes to load up your own stuff.
Yeah. Like, well, then you know where it's at.
For those of us who are like...
My husband is like, he's like the Tetris packer. Like if we're going on vacation, he packs the bags because he's really good at getting everything in.
Really?
And fitting it all. He rolls everything really tight.
Oh
and
my gosh.
He keeps his clothing drawers like this too. It's the military, I feel like, that did that.
Yeah.
But same thing with like moving. We had a big like 24-foot enclosed trailer at one point, and he packed an entire 5-bedroom house with furniture, boxes of everything into this 24-foot trailer. Wow. And I know if I'd had movers, that would have been a 2-day move for sure.
Yeah.
Because we had to do it that way a different time.
Yeah.
And he managed to just do it. He just Tetrises everything in. And I'm like, that's pretty amazing.
Yeah, there's no way. I'm not that organized.
No, me either.
No.
And he's really not that organized. Like, you should see our house. So... Can you apply this
in your house?
Can you apply this to daily life? It's just there's stuff everywhere, It definitely looks like we live in it.
Yeah. Well, that's how most people's houses are. So anyway, that's our topic of moving today.
Yes.
I think that's it for today. So again, give us a call. You can call us 321-422-2160. You can email us hello@coastalestateteam. Keep the comments coming. We've had some good ones lately and some not so good ones.
They still entertain us either way.
They do entertain us. So keep the comments coming, and we'll see you next time. Cheers.
Cheers.
Sunny days, no clouds in the sky, but